Thank you. So on behalf of the Philippine Overseas Labor Office, headed by Labor Attaché Rachel Zazobrado Nagayo, Welfare Officer Maria Lourdes Reyes, and the rest of the POLO team, I'd like to welcome and thank you all for joining us this Sunday evening. Today's webinar is titled Payroll Deduction and Tax Preparation. And with the help of our speaker, a chartered professional accountant, we will be looking into how we can calculate how much tax is being deducted from your pay and also explore other mandatory payroll deductions for the province of Ontario. So to officially begin our seminar, may I call on Welfare Officer Maria Lourdes Reyes for her welcome remarks and the introduction to our speaker.
Thank you, Castle. Hello. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Ang sisipag natin on a Sunday evening. Nag-attend ng seminar. That is so nice to see that everyone, all of us, no, kahit linggo, there's always the desire to learn. So on behalf of the head of the Philippine Overseas Labor Office, our labor attaché, Rachel Zazobrado Nagayo, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to our seminar on payroll deductions and tax preparation. I would also like to welcome our resource speaker, Ms. May Lumiqued, and also joining us tonight, one of our settlement counselors, Ms. Lisel Chavez. Welcome, Lisel. Allow me to introduce Ms. May Lumiqued. May is a chartered professional accountant. She has a degree in Master's in Business Administration, major in Banking and Finance, and she is a certified Yellow Belt Lean Six Sigma. She has a diverse industry experience in construction, engineering and design, health, and financial. She had a great opportunity working with the project team on project financials and is working collaboratively with its accounting team. Before coming to Canada, she worked at the Philippine National Bank and was an accounting instructor at the De La Salle College of St. Benilde. May is a member of the board of a condominium corporation and former president of the A Communicators Toastmasters Club. She volunteers to the Community Volunteer Income Tax Program of the Canada Revenue Agency and at the Internationally Educated Professional Program of the CPA. She has conducted several of POLO's info sessions on payroll deductions. We consider the payroll deductions and tax preparation seminar an important part of our financial literacy program. We need to know and understand our income in order to create a practical and relevant personal financial plan. We need to know how much we are earning and where part of our earnings go in order to plan how much we can save and how much we can spend. Please remember, inuna ko yung how much we can save than how much we can spend. Kasi po dapat nauuna yung savings before spending. And before I give the floor to our resource speaker, allow me to greet all women OFWs who are here with us today and advance Happy Women's Day. Our office joins the international community in commemorating March 8 as International Women's Day and in observing the month of March as National Women's Month. Countries, leaders, and women's rights advocates everywhere are celebrating the successes, achievements, and victories of women. Hayaan rin po ninyo na kami ay magbigay-pugay sa lahat ng mga kababaihang OFWs na nagtatrabaho sa ibang bansa malayo sa mga pamilya. Alam po nating lahat na hindi madali ang mawalay sa ating mga mahal sa buhay at magtrabaho sa dayuhang bansa. Subalit pinili natin na umalis, baon ang ating pangarap ng magandang buhay at bukas para sa ating mga anak. Sa araw-araw na pagharap natin sa mga pagsubok at kalungkutan, wala tayong ibang pinaguhugutan ng lakas at tibay kung hindi ang ating walang kapantay na pagmamahal sa ating pamilya. Tiwala ako na kaya nating harapin at lagpasan ang lahat ng hirap, hamon, at pagsubok dahil tayo ay mga babae. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Happy Women's Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Well-Off. Ms. May, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you everyone for taking the time tonight to explore everything about your payroll. So this is an information session on payroll deductions. Our objectives for tonight are to understand the information shown on your payslips, to understand the items that reduce your pay, to understand how these deductions are calculated, to know when avail of the tax incentives that are available to you, to understand how the COVID-19 government benefits are taxed. So I will be discussing tonight the basic payroll deductions, CPP, Canada Pension Plan, Employment Insurance or EI, and income tax. First off, Canada Pension Plan. It is retirement pension. The Canada Pension Plan is a retirement pension which is collected monthly. It is a taxable benefit that replaces part of your income when you retire. The factors that affect your contributions are, it is also called the CPP credits. It is how long you contributed and how much is your contribution. So sino ba yung mga nagko-contribute sa CPP? If you are 18 years old or above, works in Canada, outside Quebec. Why? Kasi yung Quebec may sarili sila, QBP ang tawag. And then third, if you earn more than 3,500 per year, you should be deducted CPP. So magkano or ano yung rate? Ng 2021, ang rate is 5.45% of your pensionable earnings based on salary. So you, as an employee and your employer will contribute 5.45 each for a total of 10.9% for both of you. And there is also what we call the CPP enhancement. Starting in 2019, CPP is gradually enhanced by the government, meaning to say higher benefits in exchange for higher contributions. So this is how it transitioned from 2019 to 2023. Ang aim is to increase the rate contribution rate by 1%. So by 2023, dapat yung rate is 5.95%. So nandito tayo sa 2021 ngayon, which is 5.45%. And then by 2024 to 2025, there will be an additional maximum pensionable earnings, meaning to say if by 2025, it is estimated that the maximum pensionable earnings is 69,700 at 5.95%. And there will be a second maximum pensionable earnings worth 79,400 estimate amount. So, ibig sabihin, yung difference between the second and the first maximum pensionable earnings will be deducted at additional 4% of CPP, which goes to your benefit. So kung ang income ninyo is less than 69,700, you are not affected. So how do you calculate your CPP deductions? In 2021, the maximum pensionable earnings is 61,600. So as I mentioned earlier, pagka less than 3,500 yung income nyo for the year, you are exempt from CPP deduction. So, i-deduct natin yung annual basic exemption of 3,500. That is the amount that you will multiply by the CPP rate. So, 5.45 from you as an employee and another 5.45% from your employer. So both of this contribution goes to yourself. So ano ba yung eligibility ng pension? So you can get pension if you should be at least 60 years old and must make at least one valid contribution. But then you can get a pension for the rest of your life. Other CPP benefits are post-retirement benefits. So that means if you're still working, if you are under 70 years old and still working, you can still contribute to your CPP benefit. And then eventually tataas yung pension. There is also what we call the disability benefits and the death benefit. All of those are from CPP. So your employer should stop deducting CPP when you turn 70 or when you become disabled or if you die in the year. So let's do some examples. Anna earns 3,200 in 2021. So hindi natin dideductan ng CPP si Anna. Why? Kasi less than 3,500 yung kanyang income. Exempt pa siya. Another example, Linda. Linda earns 25,000 in 2021. So how do we calculate her CPP? Her pensionable, assuming her annual pensionable earnings is also 25,000, less the basic exemption of 3,500. That is the amount that you will subject to the contribution rate. So she will be contributing 1,175 during the year. Another example, Faye earns 62,000 in the year. So ang maximum pensionable earnings is only 61,600. Ang i-contribute ni FE is only the maximum contribution, which is 3,166.45. So mag-stop na yung contribution niya pag na-reach na niya yung 61,600. Okay. We move on to the employment insurance. It provides temporary benefits for workers who lost their job due to no fault of their own or sickness and family-related benefits. So ano ba yung mga benefits ng EI? We have regular benefits, sickness benefit. If an individual cannot work because of sickness or injury or quarantine. Also, we have the compassionate care benefits and for parents of critically ill children. What is a regular benefit? It provides, as the term says, regular benefits to individuals who lose their jobs. So kailangan these two factors should be present. One, through no fault of their own. So hindi pwedeng mag-quit sa job. For example, due to shortage of work, seasonal or mass layoff. And you are available for and able to work but cannot find work. So outside of these two, you are not entitled to an EI benefit. Okay, how does the government calculate your benefit? There is a basic rate, which is 55% of your average insurable weekly earnings. So assuming that for the year you are earning 56,300, you multiply that by 55% and then divide it by 52 weeks. In 52 weeks corresponds to 1 year. So that means you will be earning or getting $595 per week as regular benefits from your EI. That is before tax. So, gaano ba katagal ibibigay ng government yan? It depends. Yeah, you can be entitled from 14 to 45 maximum weeks. And you must have worked 420 to 700 hours in the past 52 weeks. Of course, last year, the government changed that. So there is a temporary change to that rule due to COVID-19. So because of COVID-19, you will now receive at least $500 per week before taxes for at least 26 weeks. And for your sickness benefit, you don't need any medical certificate. And you only need 120 hours, insured hours to qualify for that benefit. Why? Because the government will give you one-time credit of 300 insured hours if you are claiming for the regular benefits, or 480 insured hours if you are claiming for sickness, maternity, or parental or caregiving benefits. So temporary lang yan until September 25, 2021. So for your EI deductions, the employer will deduct the applicable EI premium from your salary or wages, regardless of your age. Unlike CPP, meron siyang minimum at saka maximum age. So EI, there is no such minimum or maximum age. So the premium is based on your earnings. Your employer will be deducting your premium, as I said earlier, until you reach the maximum yearly insurable earnings of 56,300 for the year. So how do we calculate your EI? Your maximum insurable earnings is 56,300. Your employee share is 1.58%. So that is equivalent to 889.54. And your employer will contribute for you 1.4 times of your contribution. So that is 1,245 for a total of 2,134, assuming na yung earnings nyo is 56,300. So anong required? One of the requirements to claim for EI is your record of employment. Record of employment, it provides your employment history. So you use that to claim your EI, and then Service Canada use your ROE to calculate your eligibility for EI or the benefit amount and the length of your payment. Your employer must issue your ROE as soon as you stop working for him or for her, or if there is an interruption of earnings for at least 7 days. So remember, you must apply for your EI benefits to Service Canada, even if you haven't received your ROE. It is not paid automatically. A delay in applying beyond 4 weeks after your last work, your day of work, could risk losing your benefits. So there is a waiting period of 1 week for which you will not be paid your EI benefits. But due to COVID-19, this waiting period has been waived. And then you have to complete your EI reports online at Service Canada website. And remember, EI benefits are taxable. So if you do not qualify for EI, ano yung options nyo? There is what we call the Canada Revenue Benefit, the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit, Canada Recovery Caregiving Benefit. So what is a CRB? It gives income support to employed and self-employed individuals who are directly affected by COVID-19 and who are not entitled to the EI benefits. So eligibility for CRB, the government will give you 1,000 before tax for a 2-week period for all who lost their job or took 50%, at least 50% pay cut due to COVID-19. The maximum period that you can avail of is 38 weeks or 19 periods, that is bi-weekly. You can avail of this between September 27, 2020 until September 25 of this year. So if you are earning while receiving CRB, pwede rin. So if your net income is over 38,000, you will have to reimburse 50 cents for every dollar over 38,000. So parang kinap ng government to 38,000 yung income in order to avail of the CRB benefits. So what is the CRSB? It gives income support to employed and self-employed individuals who are unable to work because they are sick or need to self-isolate due to COVID-19 or have an underlying health condition that puts them at greater risk of COVID-19. And they are not entitled to EI. So the eligibility for CRSB are, you can avail of that for 4 weeks between September 27, 2020 to September 25 of this year. The amount is 500 before tax or 450 after for a 1 week period. And then what is a CRCB? It gives income support for employed and self-employed individuals who are unable to work because they must care for a child under 12 years old or a family member who needs supervised care. A person who has an underlying health condition that puts them at greater risk of COVID-19. So this applies if their school, program, or facilities closed or unavailable to them due to COVID-19, or because they are sick or self-isolating or at risk of serious health complications due to COVID-19. Eligibility for CRCB, 38 weeks. How much? 500 before tax per week. Okay, we now move on to income taxes. So in Canada, the taxation system, the income tax liability is based on your status as a resident or a non-resident of Canada. So what I'm discussing now is your resident or non-resident status of Canada as far as the CRA is concerned. It's only for tax purposes. So the rule on residency, if an individual lives in Canada the entire year, he is considered a full-time resident and taxed worldwide on worldwide income for the full year. So there are also individuals who sojourn in Canada for over 182 days. That means before July 1st, nandito na sila sa Canada. And no significant ties. They are called deemed full-time residents. And there are those who leave Canada but retains residential ties. They are called factual residents. There are also people, individuals who became and established full residential ties. They are called immigrants. Or leaves Canada and severe residential ties. They are called emigrants. They are taxed on their worldwide income during that part of the year as a Canadian resident. And lastly, the non-residents are individuals who earn income in Canada but no residential ties. They are taxed on that portion of their income that they earn in Canada. So, ano ba yung mga residential ties that I mentioned? If you have a home in Canada, a spouse or a common law partner or dependents in Canada, those are significant residential ties. There are also what we call the secondary ties. If you have a personal property in Canada, car or furniture, membership in recreational or religious organization, those are called social ties. Bank accounts or credit cards, those are economic ties. A Canadian driver's license, a Canadian passport and health insurance with the Canadian province or territory. So as a resident of Canada, you have to report your income from all sources, both inside and outside of Canada. So nag-a-apply ito dun sa mga deemed full-time resident pag galing sa ibang bansa and then nag-move dito sa Canada before July 1st. You have to report all your income in Canadian dollars. What is considered unemployment income? Your salaries, wages, commissions, bonuses, tips, gratuities, and honoraria. These are actually shown. This is actually shown in box 14 of your T4 slip. So this is an example of your T4 slip, and I highlighted the box number 14 where you can find your employment income. Except where income tax occupied. So lahat ng benefits na makukuha nyo are by virtue of your employment are taxable. So here in Canada, you are being taxed both by the federal government and the provincial government. So the federal tax rates are on the screen right now. The minimum is 15% if you are earning 48,000, have 35 and below, and 33% if you have your maximum income of over 214,000. And then the provincial rate, specifically in Ontario, so iba-ibang province, iba-iba rin yung rate. So if you live in another province, this will not be applicable to you. So as I mentioned earlier, taxable yung mga nakuhang benefit due to COVID-19, your CERB. Kasi yung CERB, tapos na yung pagbigay ng benefit na yan. Whatever you get out of CRB, CRCB, and CRSB are taxable, and you should be able to get a T4A slip by now, or T4E pagkagaling sa Service Canada. In order to arrive at your taxable income, meron tayong tinatawag na deductions from your income. So ano ba yung mga deductions na pwede natin i-claim from your income? RRSP contribution. We had a session last week regarding RRSP. So alimony or support payments, overpayments included in your income, child care expenses for children under 16 years old, or there is no maximum age if your child is impaired physically or mentally. Disability support, union dues or professional dues, those are deductible from your employment income. And another one is home office expenses. This is especially popular during the COVID-19. So let's look at the home office expenses for employees. You may be able to claim certain home office expenses. So kung yung workspace nyo is nasa bahay, and if you use office supplies or certain phone expenses, these are considered as home office expenses. So ang ginawa ng government, binigyan tayo ng dalawang options. One is called the temporary flat rate method, and the other one is detailed method. So pwede kayong mamili. Ang temporary flat rate method applies to eligible employees working from home last year due to COVID-19 pandemic. So with this method, you can claim $2 for each day you work from home due to COVID-19 up to a maximum of $400. So that means ilang days yan? 200 days. So you don't need your employer to sign Form T2200 if you are claiming this method, and you are not required to keep documents to support your claim. So diretso lang siya, $2 per day. Kung hindi kayo masaya sa flat rate method, you can go for the detailed method. It applies for eligible employees working from home due to pandemic, and that eligible employers are required to work from home. So with this method, you can claim your actual expenses that you paid, but you need to give supporting documents, to send supporting documents to the CRA. And aside from that, you are required to complete and sign either Form T2200S or T2200 from your employer. So si employer dapat issuehan kayo ng Form T2200 or T2200S if you opt for this kind of, if you opt for this method. Okay, so aside from tax deductions, which are deducted from your income and eventually bababa yung tax liability, there is also what we call tax credits. So ano ba yung mga tax credits? These are reduction from your tax owing. So mas maganda ang tax credit sa deductions. Objective of this is to provide all taxpayers with the same level of reduction regardless of their marginal tax rate. So tax credits can be non-refundable, meaning to say, kung mas malaki yung tax credit nyo sa tax due at non-refundable yon, hindi nyo na makukuha yon as refund. And the other one is refundable. Kung mas malaki yung refundable sa tax due, you will get the difference as a refund. So let's try to discuss some of the tax credits available to you. The basic personal amount. It is $13,229 in 2020 last year for net income of 150,000 or less. So lahat makakaabay nitong basic personal amount. So the purpose of this is to provide a full reduction of federal income tax to individuals with taxable income below this basic personal amount, or provide a partial reduction if you have a taxable income greater than 13,000. Another tax credit is medical expenses. So you can claim eligible medical expenses paid in any 12-month period ending in last year, 2020, but are not claimed during your tax, which you did not claim in the previous year. So pwede kayo mamili ng 12-month period. Another one is the Canada Employment Amount. It provides recognition for work-related expenses such as home computers, uniforms, supplies in the public and the private sector. So one time, merong Canada Employment Amount na bibigay sa inyo, which is 1,245 or your total employment income, whichever is less. Another tax credit is home buyer's amount, which we discussed last week when we discussed the pension, savings and pension plan. This is a program that allows you to withdraw your RSP to buy or build a qualifying home for yourself or a related person with disability. So how much? It is worth 35,000. Yan ang limit na pwede nyo gamitin to buy your first home. So how much can you claim from your tax? It is 5,000 if both of the following apply. One, you or your spouse or common law partner acquired a qualifying home. And two, you did not live in another home owned by yourself or your spouse or common law partner in the year of acquisition, or otherwise you are called a first-time home buyer. Another credit is our donations and gifts. A gift of money or other property to certain institutions. So I'd like to call your attention yung mga marami sa atin kasi nagdo-donate sa simbahan. So if you are planning to do that, you should register yourself dun sa simbahan para mabigyan kayo ng receipt at the end of the year na pwede nyo maklaim as a tax credit pag gumawa na kayo ng tax returns. So there is a limit though, which is 75% of your net income. So wag kayo mag-donate ng 80% of your income. This one is our refundable federal tax credit. It is called the Climate Action Incentive. So it started in 2019. It consists of a basic amount and a 10% supplement for residents of the small and rural communities. To claim the supplement, you must have resided outside of the census metropolitan area on December 31. So sino ba yung mga nasa CMA? These places are available in the CRA website. How much? The basic amount is $224. If you have a spouse, he is entitled to receive $112. If you have a dependent, but this dependent must live with you another $56. But if you are still a single parent with a qualified dependent, you are entitled for $112 of CAI or Climate Action Incentive tax credit. So yung mga na-discuss ko are all federal. This time, meron ding binibigay si Ontario, yung provincial government natin. It is called the Ontario Trillium Benefit. It combines the following three credits: the Ontario Energy and Property Tax Credit. It is a tax-free payment to help you pay for your property tax and sales tax. So if you own a home, itago nyo lang yung property tax na binayaran nyo. And then Ontario Sales Tax Credit, it is a tax-free payment to help Ontarians with their sales tax. And then the third one is the Northern Ontario Energy Credit. It helps pay for energy cost for those who live in Northern Ontario. So sino ba yung mga nasa Northern Ontario? Ito yung mga places. Another tax credit, if you can say that, is a GST HST credit. Although this credit is given to you separately by the government. So it is a tax-free quarterly payment, quarterly binibigay sa individuals and families with low and modest income to offset all or part of the GST that they pay, GST or HST that they pay. You are automatically considered for this credit when you file your taxes. However, so the eligibility, those who are eligible are Canadian residents, at least 19 years old, and you have or had a spouse or common law partner, and you are a parent. So in other words, maraming entitled sa GST credits. So if you are new to Canada, you have to fill out forms RC 151 if you have no children, or RC 66 if you have children, in the year that you became a resident. You have up to 3 years to ask for retroactive payment of this credit. The important tax dates are April 30, the deadline for filing and payment. Otherwise, you will be charged an interest. Of course, this one, yung interest payment, is suspended temporarily due to COVID-19. And also, kung hindi kayo nag-file within the deadline, merong charge na late penalty. So you can pay before you file your return, or you can file your return early and make a post-dated payment. So ano yung duties ng employers? They should remit the taxes withheld to CRA through payroll remittances, along with the contribution to CPP, yung contribution nyo and their contribution, and your EI premiums and their contribution, kailangan i-remit nila sa government. They also they have to report the employee's income and deductions on your T4 slip. And then they have to provide information return by the last day of February of the following calendar year. So February 28, then a deadline para issuehan kayo ng T4 slip ni employer. It is important that you must apply for CDP and EI benefits, as I already mentioned, or you lose them. Also, check your T4 slip. So check nyo yung name, yung spelling, check nyo yung SIN, para yung contribution na na-deduct sa inyo at saka kinontribute ng employer, mapunta sa inyo. If not, it will not be credited to your account. So kung may error, you have to call the Service Canada para makorek at may credit sa account ninyo lahat ng deductions from your payslip. Okay, so these are my references. The Government of Canada and Ontario. Thanks everyone for listening, and we now, as much as possible, I can answer. If I can answer your question, I will. But if not, I'll get back to you on a later time.
All right, thank you, Miss May. We can now start the question and answer portion of the webinar. So if anyone has any questions with Miss May, and if she can answer it, kindly just send us a message, or you may unmute your mics.
Hello po.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Yes, hello.
Pwede po magtanong?
Sure.
Yeah. Regarding my situation po for EI, if pwede entitled po ba akong maka-apply ng EI since yung work permit ko po na ano na po siya na tawag dito. Na-end na po yung work permit ko since July 2020. Pero nakapag-apply na po ako ng permanent resident.
Okay.
Eligible pa rin po ba ako?
Kailan ka Okay,
Kasi
okay.
po nilay off po ako ng employer ko
Okay, so
last
yung
month,
first
February 8.
criteria, okay. Okay,
Opo.
yung first criteria napasok. And then,
Malapit na
gaano
dyan.
katagal ka nang nagko-contribute?
Ano po, na-deploy po ako sa kanila ng October 2018.
Oh, okay.
Opo. Natapos ko
Yes.
po yung 24 months. Pero yung work permit ko po kasi na ano na po siya, nag-lapse na po siya ng July 2020. Tapos po, nilay off po nila ako sa work ko nung February 8. Entitled pa rin po ba ako mag-apply ng EI kahit na yung work permit ko po nag-lapse na?
Yung work permit mo is not relevant dun sa EI benefits. So, ang relevant lang is pag na-lay off ka, qualified ka, at saka yung hours. So,
Opo.
120 hours at least ang nai-render mo, qualified yun.
I see. Kasi po ma'am, nagpunta po ako sa may website ng EI. Meron pong ipipill up dun na valid
Form.
work permit. Yung form po na if valid pa yung work permit. Kailangan po valid siya. So na-confuse po ako dun sa question na yun. Kaya po ina-ask ko ngayon kung qualified po ba ako sa EI or not.
My question na valid work permit. Oh,
Opo.
because you're
Opo.
trans.
Pero yung status ko po implied na kasi nakapag-apply na po ako ng PR since October 2019.
Yung work permit, I think si Lizelle ba ang mga kasagot yan?
Okay. May in addition dun sa I think iba yung pag sa EI kasi pagka temporary worker, di ba yung work permit ninyo pag nag-expire din yung social insurance number ninyo.
Opo,
Diba?
sabay-sabay po. Opo.
Okay. So ibig sabihin, at that time kaya tinatanong nila bakit kung na-renew yung work permit, tinatanong talaga yan.
Opo.
So, nakapag-renew ka ba ng work permit?
Ayun po, hindi po ako nakapag-renew.
Sorry
Tapos,
ma'am, can I interrupt ma'am? Just a follow-up, dagdag sa ni Joy. Pinsan ko po siya. Ma'am, kasi po, nasa employed status na siya, pero ongoing pa rin po yung yung pagbabayad niya ng SIN kasi po, yung employed status under interim, you can work with your employer using the yung old na work permit po, ma'am.
Okay.
Yun po ang patakaran ng interim.
Okay. Magkaiba yung CRA at saka yung IRCC. Okay? So, pag temporary worker kasi, walang problema kung permanent resident at saka yung Canadian citizen. Pag temporary worker kasi, merong kinalaman yung inyong work permit or yung status ninyo pagdating doon sa claim.
Opo.
So, ang mas maganda, kasi ang mas maganda nito, tumawag kayo sa Service Canada or kung may open na Service Canada office, pumunta kayo at saka
Directly.
ipacheck ninyo. Yeah, ipacheck ninyo. Hindi lang ako sigurado dun sa EI claim kung ano ka pa, kung eligible ka pa. It's
Opo.
because merong certain amount of time ng pag-apply or depende nga dun sa ano, dahil hindi, yung status mo sa ngayon, okay, let's say implied status. Kaso, kung wala kang social insurance number or expired yung social insurance number mo, so dun yun, ano hindi ko lang masasagot yun. Masasagot yun mismo directly ng Service Canada.
I see. So, kailangan ko po magpunta sa Service Canada to...
Oo, tanungin mo sila. Kasi as of now, yung ano ng COVID, maaaring hindi EI ka na qualified. Maaaring ibang benefits na yung mag-apply in behalf.
I see.
Okay?
I see. Opo.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay po, ma'am.
Thank you, Joanna.
Tapos po, meron pa po akong isang tanong. Meron pong isinend sa akin na ang CRA about sa tax, ano ko po, sa tax refund ko since 2019. Parang nagkamali po sila ng amount ng lagay doon na sinabi nila na unreported ko daw po yung 3.2 million. Which is supposedly 32,000 lang po dapat. Nadagdagan po nila ng 2 zero sa hulihan. Pero yung final ko po, tama po siya. Yung nandun sa T4 ko.
Anong sabi ng CRA? Anong nasa letter?
Yun nga po, yung unreported ko daw po yung 3.2 million. Which is supposedly po dapat talaga 32,000 lang po yun.
So ano ang
sabi po nila, just in case ano daw po yun, incorrect. Hindi ko po alam kung scam po ba yun or talagang galing po sa CRA.
Letter ba yan? Letter?
Opo, letter po siya.
O email?
Letter po, mail.
Oh.
Opo.
Okay. Mas mabuti tumawag ka sa kanila directly.
Okay.
Para makita nila yung file mo. Nakukorek naman yun kaagad eh. Kung,
okay po. Okay po. Thank you
po.
po.
Baka meron.
Opo.
Pero
Salamat
hindi ka naman
po.
sinisingil.
Hindi naman po. Sinabi lang po dun na within 30 days dapat daw po matawagan ko sila or makapag-send ako ng letter na incorrect po yung 3.2 million na sinabi nila. Or may tatawagan po na specific number?
No, call CRA. Kasi
CRA ang tawagan mo.
Call CRA.
Ayun po.
Baka sa website ng CRA.
Yeah.
Kaya po na-confuse ako na baka scam po yun.
Yeah.
Kaya natanong ko po sa inyo. Opo. Opo. Salamat po.
Okay.
Thank you, Joanna.
Thank you po sa lahat ng answers.
Miss May, Miss Rosalind has a question here.
Sure.
Miss Rosalind?
Hi. Ma'am, tanong ko lang po about dun sa donation. Kasi nung COVID kasi, dun sa classmate ko, may mga classmate kasi kami sa high school, tapos na ano sila sa COVID. So, nagbigay ako ng pera. So, qualified din ba yun? I-file ko sa T4 ko? Kasi donation yun. Pero wala akong, directly ako dun sa tao na nagbigay. Tulong.
Okay. So, ang donation,
dapat
ang first element nun, dapat registered institution yung pinagdodonatan mo. Ngayon, meron kasi, kagaya yung GoFundMe, nagbibigay sila ng receipt. So that means registered institution sila. Ngayon, kung nag-donate ka to a friend, siyempre hindi ka bibigyan ng receipt ng friend mo.
Oo, pero may resibo ako sa remittance. 3 tao.
Remittance?
Oo.
So nag-donate ka sa Philippines?
Opo, nagbigay po ako kasi affected po sila sa sa COVID. So walang-wala talaga sila, walang makain, lugaw na lang isang beses sa isang araw. So na may group chat kasi kami nung high school kami. So, ang ginawa ko, direct ako nagpadala dun sa tao. Kinuha ko lang yung address.
And then meron kang
Meron akong
sa
resibo.
website para
Meron akong,
acknowledgement.
wala. Bali, nag-direct lang ako nagbigay, pero meron akong resibo dun sa, halimbawa, sa iRemit, nagpadala ko. So, may resibo ko kung magkano. Yun lang ang concern ko kung kasama ba yun sa, include ba yun sa
Ano ba yung makikita mo dun sa iRemit? Makikita ba yung donation?
Hindi, pangalan lang, tapos amount. Tapos name nung receiver at saka name ko.
Oh.
Kasama ba yun?
I think more on remittance yan eh.
Okay.
Not donation. Malaki ba yung amount?
5,000 each. 5,000 pesos each.
Pesos. Kala ko dollars.
Not
Okay. Like what I said, kailangan registered institution yung pagbibigyan mo. For example, ang sinasabi ko, halimbawa, Red Cross. Si Red Cross is a registered institution. So pag nagbigay ka, nag-donate ka through Red Cross, okay yon. Ngayon, pagka directly,
hindi siya kasama.
Let me try to research further kasi right now hindi kita masagot dyan dahil
okay, ma'am.
yung isang element hindi present.
Okay.
So I doubt kung tatanggapin ng CRA. But sometimes, kasi ang ginagawa ko pagka naggagawa ako ng tax return at ganyan merong in doubt, sinasubmit ko lang sa CRA, sila bahala mag-decide.
Okay.
So yun din ang gawin mo if you
okay,
want.
Ma'am.
That's also what I would suggest. Ibigay mo sa CRA, like i-declare mo, and kung sinabi nila na no, this is not allowed, so you just have to give back kung magkano yung amount na representing your donation.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
And we had a question in the chat from Miss Carolyn. Can we still file for tax refund even if the SIN is already expired and still waiting for the new work permit?
Can you still claim a refund? Is that what you're saying? Sorry, can you repeat the question, please? Can you please report?
It's in the chat. It says from Miss Carolyn. Can we still file for tax refund even if the SIN is already expired and still waiting for a new work permit?
Yeah, because tax refund is not dependent on the expiration of your SIN. Pag may refund ka, that is already for you. Para sa iyo na yung refund na yon. So what you have to do is just to renew your SIN. I think the same number pa rin yung makukuha nyo, right, Giselle?
Yeah, kung nasa temporary worker permit ka, yung nagsisimula pa rin sa 9 pag inisyuhan ka ng renewal.
The same number?
I don't know, hindi lang ako sigurado, pero basta temporary worker, nagsisimula yun sa 9. Yun nga lang kailangan, kung ang tawag dito, pag nag-expire yung work permit, kailangan mo ng panibagong work permit in order to apply. Sa ngayon, online lang eh.
So
pwede ka
dapat
mag-apply.
Yung refund is sa iyo na yon. Entitled ka dun sa refund. So just renew mo lang, i-update mo lang yung SIN mo. Pupunta pa rin sa iyo. Ang problema lang doon, pagka nag-change yung SIN, magkakaroon ng confusion, di ba? Kasi yung government, nakikicommunicate sa inyo, kailangan magtali yung name nyo at saka SIN. Pag hindi tali, yan, nagkakaroon dyan ng confusion. Kaya tinatanong natin ni Sir.
Pag nag-PR, binibigyan ka na ng panibagong SIN. Kagaya ng nagsisimula na sa 5. Kasi pagka nagsisimula sa 9, temporary worker, ano yun na code. Kumbaga, 9, nagsisimula pag temporary worker Pero pagka nag-PR ka na, ang ini-issue ay nagsisimula na sa 5.
Oh,
Yun na
so
yung natin, SIN. Nag-change siya. So, hindi ko lang sigurado kung ano yung effect nun doon sa kasi parang nagbago na yung ano mo. But I think mas mabuti as long as nag-file ka ng taxes, magre-reflect ba? Siguro magre-reflect pa.
Direct deposit ka ba or check?
Direct deposit po. Naka-direct deposit po.
Oh, okay. Walang problema pagka direct deposit.
Okay.
Makukuha mo pa rin yung refund.
Another question po, kasi po nag-rent ako, bali bed space lang siya, 150 per month. However, kasi nga, parang hindi nag-i-issue yung landlady friend ko ng receipt. So, sayang din yung like almost 3,000 yes. Pwede po ba yung like ipaano sa accountant kahit walang receipt?
Ang problem lang dyan, kasi sabi mo nagro-rooming ka, tama?
Yes.
So that means meron kang cashier. For example, yung cashier mo, sino sa inyo yung ini-issuehan ng receipt? Yung cashier mo or
yung bali talaga may-ari ng apartment, yung bali PR na po siya dito pero yung isang room niya po pinarentahan niya para tulong na rin po sa kanya. Pero di siya nag-i-issue ng receipt.
Ang pinakamaganda dyan is maggawa kayo ng arrangement. Sabihin mo, i-claim mo itong binabayad mo, tapos i-claim niya lang. Kasi yun ang magiging problem. Kung i-claim niya yung buo, yung claim mo hindi siya magiging valid kasi nga na-claim niya at saka siya yung mayroong hawak ng receipt. So, ang advice ko, kausapin mo siya, sabi mo, i-claim mo yung portion mo, i-claim niya lang yung portion niya. So, in case na humingi, kasi pag nag-claim ka, hindi mo naman kailangan i-submit sa CRA unless na-audit ka ni CRA, sabihin ni CRA, bigay mo nga yung resibo mo dito sa rent. So in that case, dapat kasi kumuha ka rin ng copy ng receipt. So just in case na humingi si CRA, meron kang ibibigay na proof. Tapos explain mo sa CRA, pero this is an extreme case. I-explain mo kay CRA na portion nitong rent na ito is coming from your roommate and a portion ikaw ang nagbabayad. So right now, yun ang gawin mo. Kausapin mo siya na yung portion mo, i-claim mo yung portion niya. I-claim niya, which is just fair, right? So yun. Yun ang doon, ang sinasabi ko lang, pag humingi sa CRA ng receipt, ibigay mo yung receipt at saka explain mo kung ano yung situation.
Need po ba official receipt or pwede lang yung receipt from nang nabibili sa Dollarama? Like, need po ba yung official receipt talaga? Or like...
Actually, kung ano yung issue na sa'yo na receipt ni nung may-ari, siya na yung merong caveat dodge, siya na yung hahabulin ni CRA kung tama yung receipt niya or not. So as long as may receipt ka, kahit na galing lang sa Dollarama, kahit na sinulat lang, basta may receipt ka, meron ka ng pinanghahawakan na no proof. Ngayon, yung burden nun is nasa kung sino man yung nag-issue ng receipt sa'yo.
Okay. Thank you pa.
Okay.
Miss May, there's a question again in the
Sure.
chat from Miss Anita for filing a receipt for dental.
Okay.
Miss Anita, would you like to elaborate?
Hi, hello, yes, ma'am. Good evening po.
Sure. Good evening.
Yes, ma'am. Pwede po bang i-file yung resibo ko po sa dental? Kasi po nagpa-dental ako 2 months ago, I think. That is quite a big amount. That is 750.
So, January.
I think, yeah. Yeah, supposed to be
Pwede
January.
mong i-claim yung January sa next filing season.
Not this year po, ma'am. Not this time.
Dapat kasi yung 12-month na ito between 2019 and 2020. Kung meron kang hindi na-claim noong 2019 hanggang 2020, pwede mong i-claim. Ngayon, yung receipt mo, definitely pwede yan, dental. Kaya lang, sa next filing season na, sa 2021.
Okay.
So that means next year, 2022.
Okay. So, when it comes po, na nag-apply po ako for PR, so do I need to show that receipt if in case the government will ask me a receipt, approve? Because I included for the tax refund.
Sinong office ang... Pag si CRA, is it CRA? Are you referring to CRA or...
No, I mean
another...
pag in case po mag-apply po ako for PR ko po.
Okay.
Then, yeah, because kasi for I know humihingi sila ng kung ano-anong mga proof. So, may possibility po ba na hingi nila yan in case na...
Okay, kung sa CRA, possible yan. I-keep mo yung receipt mo for 5 to 7 years in case na ma-audit ka ng CRA. Ngayon, when it comes to your PR, si Lizelle ang pwedeng sumagot ng question.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Usually, pag nag-apply ng PR, ang hinihingi lang naman is yung option C printout or yung notice of assessment.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay?
Okay.
So just in case merong tinatawag na mga ang tawag dito, kung additional documents to prove, basta ang kailangan lang naman ng IRCC is a proof na nagtrabaho ka for 2 years dito sa Canada.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Ng taxes, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And we have Miss Lina and then Miss Maritas who has her hand up next.
Okay.
Miss Lina?
Yeah. Ma'am, meron lang po akong itatanong kasi last 2018 ako dito dumating June. Tapos, tinanggal ako ng employer ko ng January 2019. So, wala akong income tax. Wala akong tax refund ng 2019. Tapos, nag-complain ako sa Ministry of Labor. Naka-claim ako, meron akong cheque. Tapos yung cheque na yun, ang sabi ng lawyer ko, kailangan ko daw i-report sa tax refund ko. Tapos nung inano ko na sa accountant ko, ang sabi, nagtanong siya sa akin kung saan daw niya ipa-file, kung 2018 or 2019. Wala po akong masagot kasi hindi ko po alam kung ano ang tax law about that sa cheque, kung the date ba na issued ang cheque or doon sa claim ko doon sa 2018 na exist na sa salary ko na hindi niya binayad.
So nagkaroon ka ng additional income from your employer?
Oo, pero tinanggal na po
2018.
niya ako. Oo. Noong 2019, January. Actually, wala akong T4 sa January. Kaya hindi ako nakapag-file ng 2019.
Doon tinanggal ka ng employer ng 2018, hindi siya nagbigay ng T4?
Nagbigay po siya nung 2018, year 2018 from June to December.
So, ang nagbigay ng additional income mo is your employer nung 2018. Tama ba?
Opo, kasi nag-claim kami sa Ministry of Labor.
Oo.
Tapos, ang sinasahod lang niya kasi sa akin noon is 1,200. Tapos, pinapatrabaho pa niya ako ng Saturday. So, at saka holiday. Tapos, yun ang kiniklaim
So,
namin sa
na-claim.
labor.
Okay.
Tapos, na-claim namin yon. Tapos, yung natapos na yung claim, matagal siyang hindi nagbigay. Umabot pa ng 1 taon. Na-receive ko
Okay.
lang, na-receive ko lang yung check ditong November 2020 na po.
Okay. So, sabi mo dun sa accountant mo, 2018, kasi 2018 mo sinerve yung di ba? 2018 ka nagtrabaho.
Opo.
So, ang dapat gawin dyan, yung 2018 na tax return mo, i-revise ni accountant para mabago kung magkano yung income mo.
Sige po. Tapos isa pa po, ma'am, yung 2019 ko po, wala po akong trabaho noon.
Okay.
At saka hindi rin po ako naka-apply ng EI kasi hindi ako umabot ng 1 taon sa trabaho. Tapos, hindi ako nag-file ng tax return noong 2019. Hanggang, sa 2020 hindi ako nakapag-file ng tax return for the year of 2019. Paano po yun? Wala po akong income noon eh.
Actually, kahit sa lahat ng nakikinig, kahit wala kayong income, mag-file kayo kasi may mga benefits. Kagaya yung diniscuss ko kanina, tax credit. Pagka-refundable, yung Ontario Trade-in Benefit. Entitled kayo nun, may makukuha kayo. Basta nag-file lang kayo. So, hindi porke wala kayong income during the year, hindi kayo magpa-file. Mag-file kayo para makakuha ng benefits, hindi para magbayad ng tax. Okay. So, yung question mo ngayon, yes, pwede ka pa mag-file ng 2019.
Okay. Thank you po, ma'am. Yan lang po ang gusto kong
Para
malaman.
makakuha ka ng mga benefits, yung Ontario Trillium.
Pero alam na po yan
benefit.
ng accountant po, ma'am, pag kasi naibigay ko na yan ang lang
Sabihan mo siya. Actually, may mga tax clinic ngayon na
For late filing.
oo. Sabihin mo siya na gusto mo mag-file ng 2019 kasi hindi ka nakapag-file.
Opo.
Ma'am May, can I butt in?
Sure.
Yeah, we have the same situation with Ma'am Lina.
Lina.
Wala din po akong work the whole 2019. So, hindi rin ako nag-file because I wasn't informed and I am not aware. Hindi pa kasi ako ganun kabihasa sa tax law dito sa Canada. So, pwede rin po ba akong mag-file ng 2019? Paano po ang gagawin? I will call my accountant and my accountant are going to do for me? Or?
Definitely, yes. Pwede ka mag-apply. Mag-file.
And
ko lang,
are we entitled to any benefits that we can get?
Yes, yung mga yes, yung binanggit ko kanina, pwede yung HST-GST credit, yung Ontario Trillium Benefit. Pwede.
Dito po ako sa Quebec. Yun lang.
Oh, okay. Sa Quebec,
yeah.
meron kasing counterpart din yung mga benefit ng Ontario sa Quebec. So,
okay.
I'm sure.
So maybe I will gonna ask my accountant for that. And ano pa ba?
Actually, meron yung volunteer tax clinics. So, para hindi ka na magbayad ng accountant.
Oh, okay.
Check mo.
Pumunta ka dun sa tax clinic and then explain mo yung situation mo. Yun, libre yun.
Tax clinic? Saan po yun?
Punta ka dun sa CRA website.
Yun nga po ang problema ko, hindi ako nakaka-log in sa CRA website. pag-key-in ko pag-type ko pag-login ko using my bank account partner, okay naman po. Pero pag-type ko sa SIN ko, yun na. Hindi na ako.
Gemma,
Yes, ma'am.
hindi kailangan yung yung account.
SIN,
Kailangan
oo.
lang check mo lang, i-search mo lang dun sa search
Website
Canada
mismo.
Revenue Agency. Tapos
Okay.
doon sa search button, hanapin mo yung mga community
Okay po.
free tax preparation or free may listahan
Oo.
sila, depende kung saan ka nakatira.
Sige po.
O kaya,
Libre yun.
o kaya ako
Magpapabook ka
sinasabi
lang ng
para
appointment.
makasave ka.
Oo.
Makasave ka sa bayad ng accountant. Mahal
Oo.
din.
Okay po.
May listahan sila at saka magbubook ka lang ng appointment
Okay
sa
po.
kanila.
Kahit dito sa Quebec, meron siguro.
Oo.
Meron din siguro.
Meron.
Yan eh.
Nakita ko
Meron
na
at
dun
meron.
sa Quebec kasi gumawa na ako ng
Mm-mm.
last year eh.
Okay.
Nag-research na ako dyan sa
Okay
Yeah.
po.
tax.
Hanapin mo lang yung pinakamalapit sa'yo.
Thank you po. I'm gonna do that. Thank you.
Actually, online na eh. Kaya kahit na hindi malapit, makakapag-avail ka.
Opo. Thank you.
Si Lina, back to Lina. Nasagot ba yung tanong mo? Lina?
Opo, ma'am. Okay na.
Nasagot na, no?
Opo.
Pwede ka mag-file.
Thank you po. Thank you.
All right, Miss Maritas?
Yes. Thank you. Ma'am May, tanong ko lang, nabanggit mo kanina yung sa donation dito sa yung pagbayad ng credit card, Ma'am May. Paano kaya makuha yun? Kasi meron yung kung may refund yun, Ma'am May, kasi meron na namang nakaline na tita ko na naoperahan. Sayang din.
So, remittance yan. Nag-remit ka.
Hindi po, sa GoFundMe, Ma'am May.
Oh, GoFundMe. Okay, so meron yan. Kailan ka nag-donate?
Last year pa, Ma'am May.
2020.
Oo po, Ma'am May. Oo, kasi...
Oh yes, pwede.
So paano kaya, Ma'am May?
Okay, kagaya nung sinabi ko sa taga-Quebec, I forgot her name. Anyway, tax clinic, isabit mo lahat ng mga documents na meron ka, kasama yan, yung donation mo. Isabit mo lahat para ma-consider yung donation.
Wala namang receipt, Ma'am May. Paano yun?
GoFundMe meron.
Saan ko kaya makuha, Ma'am May? Bank statement?
Kasi na-try ko na yung GoFundMe. I-email ka nila nung tax receipt. Dapat the same day na nag-donate ka. Balikan mo yung araw kung kailan ka nag-donate.
Oh my God.
Meron silang ibigay. Unless na dinilit mo.
I-double check ko, Ma'am May. Sayang din.
Check
Hindi
mo
ko
dun
kasi
sa
alam
email
yan
mo.
pwede rin pala ma-refund.
Kasi pagka nag-donate ka sa GoFundMe, the same day, the same time na nag-donate ka, makukuha mo kaagad yung receipt, tax receipt mo. Kasi, registered
Kahit
institutions
na,
lang.
okay, Ma'am, kahit na may in-charge na tao doon?
Ano ibig mong sabihin?
Oo, kasi GoFundMe, tapos may in-charge na tao doon na sila ang nagko-collect ng pera.
Sa website or office?
Halimbawa, Ma'am, before ka na mag-click ng GoFundMe, meron yung dalawang tao na isa is Filipino, yung isa is ibang lahi.
And then?
Pero nag-donate pa rin po ako ng GoFundMe. Hindi kaya sila yung yung nakaano ng mga receipt, Ma'am.
Ang receipt, dapat i-issue sa pangalan mo.
Kaya...
not familiar dun sa dalawang taong sinasabi mo.
O silang nag-create.
Kasi ang
Ano, Ma'am
GoFundMe is
Parang silang
online.
nag-facilitate.
Sila nag-facilitate. Ang GoFundMe is online donation, di ba? So dapat
Oo, Ma'am M.
walang ibang
Ay, Ma'am
tao
May.
na dapat walang ibang tao na dadaanan ka. Diretso yon kung sino yung gusto mong bigyan ng donation.
Oh, I see.
I'm not sure kung ano yung sinasabi mong may 2 tao.
Sige, Ma'am May, i-double check ko yung receipt sakali kung meron. Pero kung wala, Ma'am, hindi po ba mag-appear dyan sa bank of statement?
Pag nag-donate ka online, makikita mo sa statement.
So, hindi ba pwede yun na gawin as receipt instead na ano?
Kung makikita mo okay, hindi ko pa na-explore yung ganyang possibility. Ngayon, kung makikita mo dun sa bank statement mo na GoFundMe yung pinuntahan ng funds, ng receipt, nung funds mo, I think pwede.
Sige po, Ma'am May.
Pwede, oo. Basta itago mo yung bank statement na yon showing yung GoFundMe at saka kung sino yung pinag-donate mo.
Sige po. Okay po. Thank you, Ma'am.
Okay.
And then next from the chat, we have Miss Gina Furton. I think you have 2 questions here. Miss Gina Furton?
Hello, I'm sorry. Hi, Ma'am May.
Hello.
Okay pa, nag-send pa ako ng chat about sa remittance. Pwede po ba siya gamitin para, kasi this is my second time to file the tax. Pwede po ba siya gamitin, i-claim yung remittance natin? Or no?
Okay, the short answer is no.
No?
Sino yung pinag-remitan mo? Kamag-anak?
Oo, hindi yung pwede, di ba?
No.
How about yung related sa education dito sa Canada?
Anong ibig mong sabihin?
Like, yung kumuha kami ng IELTS test, yung mga ganon, hindi po siya pwede gamitin. At saka yung review, pagre-review.
So, nag-aral ka?
Review po.
Nag-review ka. Pero hindi ka nag-aaral?
Hindi.
Gano'ng katagal yung review mo?
90 days.
Normally, yung review mo, sa school ka ba nag-review or?
Online siya po. Ano po siya, yung sa sa IELTS din po, yung sa IDP.
Okay. Review sa IELTS?
Yung sa English test na kinukuha for requirements ngayon po sa new pilot po. Sa pag-apply ng PR.
Okay. Hindi ako familiar sa normally kasi pag may school, yun yung since school siya yung nag-i-issue nung receipt. Bibigyan kanya ng tax receipt, T2202 yung form. Kaya lang yun yung naka-enroll ka dun sa school. When it comes to IELTS, hindi kita masagot kung ano yan. I-check ko kung magpo-fall siya or you can check din dun sa online, dun sa mga deduction, kung mako-cover yung IELTS. Pero at the same time, I'll try to check din online. So, nag-review ka sa IELTS for 90 days?
Yes po.
I'll try to check, pero I don't think qualified yan. So kung may makuha akong information na positive, isesend ko kay Miss Malu.
Sige po, thank you po.
So
Okay.
kung wala kang marinig, ibig sabihin, hindi pwede.
Okay, no problem po. Last question po, Miss May. Nung kasi I just opened my CRA account, tapos na may nag-send sila ng ano sa akin. Yung parang letter na sabi nila about sa GST at saka HSTC. Kasi dumating ako ng Canada noong July 2019.
Okay.
So sabi nila, hindi daw ako entitled to receive for July 2020, ganon, to April 2021. Ang reason daw, your world income converted to Canadian dollars for the period 2019 before you came to Canada, yun daw dapat ko i-provide.
Hindi mo na-provide?
Hindi, kasi sa accountant ko, tinanong niya ako nung 2000, nung last year na nag-file tayo ng tax, ibinigay ko naman sa kanya. Tapos nag-send sila ng letter sa akin na yun daw yung reason why hindi nila ako mabigyan, hindi daw ako entitled kasi hindi ko daw na-provide yung information na yun.
Kasi dumating ka ng anong month?
July 2019.
July ano?
16, 2019.
So, immigrants. So, dapat i-declare mo nga yung worldwide income. So, binigay mo sa accountant mo yung income mo for the year. Tama?
Opo, 2019.
So, I don't know bakit hinahanap ni CRA samantalang sinabi mo, dineclare mo.
Oo, hindi ko nga alam kasi yun nga. Tapos, kasi wala din akong anak, ganon. Hindi ko alam kung qualified ako or hindi. Kung may makukuha ba ako or hindi.
You are supposed to be qualified. Ngayon, kung sinabi lang ni CRA na hindi mo kasi binigay yung ang sabi lang ng CRA, hindi mo binigay yung worldwide income mo?
Opo.
Then, I suggest, ibigay mo para kung meron ka mang makukuha na credit, makuha mo. Kasi, yung CRA naman, nakikicommunicate yan. Kung may hinihingi sila, ibigay mo lang.
Okay.
Ngayon, kung sasabihin naman nila outright na hindi ka entitled, so yun, ang key doon is humihingi lang si CRA sa iyo ng information about your income. So, i-provide po kay CRA. So, who knows, baka bigyan ka nila ng credits.
Oh, you mean tatawagan ko sila or sa ngayon na pag-file ng income,
pwede mong tawagan or sumulat ka.
Okay po. Thank you so much.
So, 2 options. Sumulat ka or tawagan mo sila.
Okay po. Thank you po, Ms. May. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Next, we have Ms. Russell. They have a question. And afterwards, we have...
Oh, hi.
Oh, go ahead.
Hi po, Mikay, Mame. Good afternoon po, good evening po sa lahat. Yung tanong ko po, about sa T4 ko. Pero since yung isa na ahead of me, may tanong siya about sa GST at saka yung sa akin ganun po yung case ko. I arrived here February 2019. Ngayon, nag-file ako last year for income tax return. Ngayon po, nakakuha ako ng refund. So yung binigay ko na income is yung February ko at saka yung February ko until the end of December. Ngayon po, sabi na accountant ko, may GST po akong marireceive, GST at saka yung trillium. May lump sum na by July na para mga 300 plus. But 2021 na po ngayon, wala po ako na-receive.
Nag-send ka ba ng application sa yung sinabi kong form kanina, yung RC151 or RC66?
Actually po, noong time na nag-ano po ako ng tax return, kasi first time ko, wala akong mga idea kung paano siya or ano. Kaya
Okay.
yung nag-ask lang ako ng accountant. And now, kasi since wala po akong idea or ano, kung ano lang
Pwede.
hiningi ng accountant, yun lang po ang ibinigay ko. Tapos nagbigay ng letter sa akin yung CRA, yun nga, may kulang daw dun sa binigay ko na, which is they were asking my salary last January. Pero
Okay.
Hong Kong pa po ako at that
So, pareho
time.
ng...
Halos pare-pareho sa kanya. Halos pare-pareho sa
Right,
kanya.
okay.
Okay, yun ang parang tanong ko kanina, okay, second na tanong ko na, which is inuna ko na lang kasi related sa question niya. Tatawagan ko na lang yung CRA, pero I was thinking kung makiklaim ko pa yung mga...
Yes, ito, you can claim that retroactive payment after 3 years.
Oh.
Ito.
Nabasa ko
Nakashare
kanina.
pa yung screen ko.
Nabasa ko
pwede
kanina, kaya medyo
pwede
nakampante
mong
ako ng konti, na-loosen ako ng konti noon. Sabi mo,
at the same time, isa-send ko sa POLO itong form ng RC151 at 66. Or you can search it online din. Actually, pwede kong isend kay POLO yung mga requirements ng CRA para sa mga newcomers. So, para yung mga dumarating, to make them aware na ito yung mga requirements. Okay. So,
tapos
pwede mo
bigla lang,
search sa online. Itong form na to, i-fill out mo kung ano yung applicable sa'yo. And then, yes, makaka-receive ka.
Ano nga yung
hindi
form na yun?
automatic, especially pag newcomers.
Ano nga yung form na yun, Yuki Mamay? Yung form na?
This one, RC151 or
RC151 or RC166. Okay. Balik po ako dun sa kung first question ko po, Yuki Mamay. Ngayon, naka-receive ako ng T4. Ngayon kasi, bago kasi, tapos marami akong backlog for last ko na filation, which is yung ibang kaibigan ko, they automatically receive it from online. Kompleto na yung hinihingi ng accountant nila, which is sa akin, bakit marami backlog? Which is hindi ko alam yan. It could be online, and then yung mga GST, walang kulang. Supposedly, they know that one. Kasi trabaho nila yan na may kulang to, ganyan. So, yun, natanong ako sa friend ko, ano yung mga nasa mo? Titingnan ko yung T4. Okay, bakit ganito yung mga box 14 mo? Napansin ko po, meron po akong box 30. Which is sa kanila wala.
Okay. Ano yung box 30?
I think sa pagkakita ko, box 30 po. May amount po siyang nakalagay.
Actually, may description yan. Yung 30 nandun lang sa baba, no?
Nasa baba po. Nasa sa baba siya
may
na.
Description
nasa
yan
gitna pababa. I think
Yeah.
this is a board and lodging po.
Okay. Ngayon, ano yung question mo doon?
Question ko, hindi naman po sila nag-deduct sa akin literally for board and lodging. Why they need to put, the box 30, the amount, which one can benefit? The employee or the employer?
Kasi ito yung explanation dyan, yung board and lodging, that means in-add na employer dun sa income mo. So, part of your taxable income. So, hindi ka nag-benefit doon. Anyway, depende yan kasi sa contract mo with your employer. Kung yung income mo ba, portion nun is your board and lodging. Ngayon, when it comes to pensionable earnings, ito yung sinasabi ko, yung basis ng pagka-compute ng ng CPP or insurable earnings, hindi kasama yung board and lodging. Kaya nakaseparate yan under box, a different box. So yun, pag nagka-calculate sila ng CPP mo at saka ng EI, hindi kasama yung board and lodging. Ngayon, nasa sa ano nyo yan, contract mo with your employer, kung ano yung understanding nyo. So, yun ang dapat na malinaw din sa inyo pagka nagsasign kayo ng contract. Yung bang board and lodging kasama dun sa income mo or not. So, apparently, kasama siya.
Ma'am May, ganito kasi yan. Kasi tinitingnan ko talaga every box of this one. Kasi nga, sorry kasi nga, based on my experience, yung masyadong most of the employer, kasi galing pangalawa ko na employer to, most of them magulang. So, tinitingnan ko every box of it, kung hindi ba kakulangan or ano, which is yung box, honestly, yung box 14 ko mas maliit lang siya sa compare ko sa mga friends ko. But na-figure out ko kung bakit. It would really times 40 hours per week. So kaya, but i-deduct ko yung box, hindi naman po ako accountant, pero pinifigure out ko always Yung box 22.
Which is tama lang lahat.
Yeah.
Talaga,
hinanap ko siya.
Gawin.
So hinanap ko siya kung it's really related na, according to our contract, they are not allowed to deduct. Kasi bago ako dumating dito Nasa kontrata yan, free board and lodging dito and free food. It's really specified there.
Okay.
So they're not allowed that one. So ngayon, here. Sa box 14 ko, hinanap ko bakit akin maliit. So, tinignan ko hinanap ko yung 32 sa mga friends ko at sa akin 29. Nakita ko because their employer is paying them 44 hours per week. Mine is 40, that's why it's 29,120. So hinanap ko kasi wala kasi akong table computer kasi wala naman akong access sa CRA, hindi pa ako masyadong ganun ka-savvy in terms of yung mga law dito at saka ano. Ngayon, ginawa ko po, ito yung box, 22, box 16, which is CPP-EI at saka yung federal tax, that is box 22. Box 18, ina-add ko yung tatlo.
Okay.
So ginawa ko is yung 14, kasi 14 times, 8. Tapos, lumabas tong 29, exactly. I-shortcut ko lang po kasi baka mamaya late na. Kanina pa tayo sa question and answer. But i-shortcut ko na lang. The total is, to cut the story short, yung box 14 is tama siya without board and lodging.
Okay.
Tama yung sahod niya sa akin, which is 40 hours. Tama yung deduction niya sa akin.
Okay.
Yung 3 box. Ang tanong ko, bakit meron akong box 30? Who can benefit this one? Me or the employer? Why they need to put this box 30 an amount of 4,300?
Nawala naman sa contract?
Yeah, wala sa contract. Hindi naman ako literally na dinededuct for 4,000. Bakit nilagay siya?
So masasabi ko dyan, since kasama dun sa T4 slip mo, ibig sabihin, kasama sa taxable income. So, yun, kasama siya sa taxable income mo. Ngayon, kaya iniisip ko kay employer kung ano yung sa kanya. So, that means nagbabayad si employer sa iyo ng sinasama niya sa expense niya na binabayad sa iyo. Yun ang other flip side.
Bali, kunwari, hindi ako nakatira dito sa basement niya. Sa ibang bahay ako nakatira.
Okay.
Para makaano siya. Ganun po ba?
Oo. Parang meron siyang kine-claim na
additional expenses. So sa kanya.
Ganon.
Okay. So,
which is a benefit. Taxable
sa
benefit
kanya,
for you. Hindi, for you.
Yun.
Taxable benefit for you.
For
Kasi,
me?
Kiniklaim niya as expense.
Yan ang risk pag ang accountant, the same sa employer. Kaya karamihan, instead na may refund, meron pa kayong owing. Nangyayari
Mom,
yan
that's why.
lagi.
Ngayon, kaya nga, yung father niya kasi is an accountant. Meron
Yun ang
silang
ginagamit mo.
firm.
So para
So,
sa
ngayon, siya
lahat,
nagbigay
ginagamit mo.
before. Hindi, dati 2019 ko, naghanap ako ng iba. Pupunta sana ako ng tax to go kasi yun na, very smooth lahat-lahat. Yung kaibigan ko, automatic na online. So since COVID, ayaw naman akong palisin kasi pag aalis ka, pag babalik ka dito, nagbabantay ka, para kang may leprosy. Ganun ka. So, yun na. So, hanap ako online. Yung makakomunicate ko lang online. So, I got the accountant last year, which is, marami naman akong backlog ngayon. So, ngayon, nag-offer yung father niya before kasi nag-offer sila last year. So ngayon nag-offer na naman siya this year. And I was just
nagagawin niya.
Okay, nagagawin niya. So clean na sana yung mind ko na magpapagawa ako sa kanya. So since nakita ko tong box 30, I was thinking, bakit ano to? Saan to?
Okay.
Baka maliit, lalaki, or ganun.
Ang since magaling ka naman tawag dito, isa-isahin yung mga items, I believe kaya mong gamitin yung software ng tax. Ikaw na mismo gumawa ng tax mo. Naintindihan mo naman yung lecture ko. So, alam mo kung sino yung medical expense, alam mo kung ano yung basic personal amount. Ngayon, alam mo na, di ba? So I suggest try mo yung may software dun sa CRA website, which is free. 20 ang maximum number of returns na pwede mong gamitin. So try mong gamitin yung software na yon and do your own taxes.
I-google ko lang po software.
Punta ka sa CRA website. Nandun.
Yeah, okay po. Kaya, yun. Nagtaka lang po ako. At saka, okay, I'm looking for the answer.
Bali, wala akong i-comment. Yun lang, binigay ko lang sa iyo yung explanation. Expense na yon, taxable income sa iyo.
Baka naman, okay, my fear is, okay, baka, okay, parang debit on side ko. Okay, parang nakaka-deduct siya sa side ko in terms, maliit na nga yung nilagay niya sa 14 eh. Buti na lang nakita ko na if you're going, the gross niya talaga, tapos i-deduct mo yung lalabas talaga yan. Plus sa sahod ko ngayon na ni-receive ko every 15 and 30. Kaya nahanap ko siya, which is really intact. 40, kaya pala 29 lang sa akin kasi 40 lang yung lagay niya. It's fine. Kasi 30 lang naman yung 35 naman ang pinaka-safe to 40 for application of PR, which is I'm safe here. wala na lang akong question yan.
Pero another thought to that is dapat i-declare niya nga yan as earnings niya kasi magabayad ka ng board and lodging sa kanya.
Kaya nga. Okay, I should have the receipt as what we have discussed okay, a while ago that I can have the receipt. Yeah, okay, what happened? Kaya nga sabi ko, look, what happened here? Okay, so it could be the other way around. So he's not earning. So he's not earning. He's the one who's paying it. So he's the one who's.
Maraming yan, pwedeng dapat i-declare niya as income. Kasi nagbabayad ka sa
parang iba to po yung ewan ko kaya question mark ako dito sa
I couldn't comment kasi hindi ko naman nakikita yung tax returns.
Sige po. Thank you so much, okay, Mamay. Thank you po.
All right, thank you. We had a hand raised by Miss Mary Ann. Do you still have a question, Miss Mary Ann?
Good evening, Ma'am May. Tatanong ko lang. Deduction incentive. Kasi late ako ng pasok kanina. So, i-check ko lang. Hello, ma'am. about dun sa climate action incentive.
Okay.
Yeah, iko-confirm ko lang, kailangan po ba buong whole year ka nandito para makuha mo yon? Or kung, kasi dumating ako 2018, parang 2.5 months lang. So, wala akong ganon in 2018.
Hindi ka naka-claim?
Wala akong nakalagay. Binigyan ng accountant ko yung 2018 tax return summary ko. Walang nakalagay.
Nag-start lang ito ng 2019.
Okay. So, yun. Kaya yun po yung tinatanong ko. Kasi late akong pumasok. Kaya kinonfirm ko kasi tingnan ko dun sa summary.
Yeah.
Wala ako. Okay. Tapos, another question. Ano ko lang yung sinasabi kanina I forgot her name. Yung about sa Box 30. Yeah. Noong 2019, meron kasi ako dati rin noon. So, na-surprise din ako. When you say taxable income, kasi di ba ma'am, doon kino-compute yung tax, di ba?
Oo.
Yeah. Pero yung sa akin naman, I computed based dun sa taxable income ko, yung tax, same naman. Hindi naman niya sinama yung pero nilagay niya yung 30 sa ilalim.
Okay.
Kasi kinupute ko to be sure.
So, information lang yun.
Yeah, information lang. To be sure kasi dahil nagulat din ako. Ano yun? Kaya kinompute ko rin po.
Ano meron sa likod nung T4, nandun yung mga...
Yeah, may explanation ko ano yung 30 na yun.
Ano yung mga dinededuct.
Opo.
Or yung
Yes, ma'am. Opo.
Income.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Next is Miss Isa.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening po. Good evening sa inyong lahat. Hi, Ma'am May. Itatanong ko lang po sana, but of course, parang nasagot niyo na po kasi earlier kasi itatanong ko sana kung possible ba na mag-file ako ng tax myself instead na magbayad pa ako sa accountant since parang gusto ko rin kasi siyang matutunan para at least may idea ako kung saan pumupunta yung mga
Yes. So, kahit sino, kahit hindi ka accountant, kahit mag-download ka nung tax software from CRA website, libre yun. I-practice mo, pagka satisfied ka dun sa end result, i-send mo sa CRA. So, nakatipid ka ng pambayad dun sa accountant. Huwag ka na kumuha na accountant. Or another option, tax clinic. Yung tax clinic, I think may cap kasi yung income. Kung halimbawa, I think 38,000.
Yeah, meron silang range.
Para makapag-avail ka ng free tax clinic. Pero I suggest, kasi simple lang naman. Mostly yung mga dito, simple lang yung income ninyo. Wala naman kayong investment na magbabayad kayo ng capital gains tax, di ba? So,
nag-apply po sa meron po akong investment dito. Nag-apply po ako.
Nakakuha ka ng T5?
Hindi pa po. Bali. Pero meron po kasi, nag-apply po kasi ako ng TFSA.
Simple lang yun. Ang TFSA hindi kasama.
Okay.
Kasi tax-free yan eh.
Okay,
Kaya nga tax-free savings account. So hindi mo kailangan bayaran ng tax. So ang ko lang is straightforward. Kaya mong gawin yung sarili mong tax.
Okay, awesome. Gaano po katotoo yung, kasi may narinig kasi ako na may mga accountant and other institution na kapag sa kanila ka nag-apply ng filing ng tax, mas mataas yung makukuha mong return. Is it true or
refund?
Opo, ng refund. Totoo
No.
po ba yun? Hindi ko kasi parang
Hindi.
most likely sinasabi
Hindi
nila
naman
yun.
magbabago yung situation mo kung ibibigay mo sa H&R o kaya ibibigay mo kay
Turbo.
kay kung sino man.
Okay, the same
Yung
lang.
situation mo, hindi magbabago. So, kung magkano yung lipan mong ika-compute ni HRNR, ganun din yung ika-compute nung volunteer tax clinic. Ganun din yung makukuha mo dun sa software. Unless na pag ginamit mo yung software, dapat alam mo saan mo pupunta ito, saan mo pupunta si medical, saan pupunta si employment, saan pupunta si, at least alam mo na yung mga pwede mong i-claim.
Okay po.
After this session, hopefully, alam mo na kung ano yung mga pwede mong i-claim.
Really helps a lot. And additional lang po dun po sa, may dalawa po kasi na nagtanong sa inyo in regards with yung pag-declare ng kanilang salary. I think si Rosel yun. Kasi 2019 din po ako dumating dito, and then may letter din po akong na-receive from CRA na sinasabi na i-declare mo yung salary mo from outside Canada. So ang ginawa ko lang po, tumawag po ako sa CRA, then yun, in-interview po ako in regards sa salary ko from Hong Kong. So sinabi ko lang yung figure ng income ko in Canada, in Canadian dollars.
Canadian dollars.
Kasi yun, kasi doon magbabaray kung magkano po yung ibibigay nilang refund.
Exactly. Yeah.
Para po sa ano. So just to give them
ayan yung sagot sa tanong mo pala.
Okay, thank you, Miss Lisa.
So, nakakuha ka ba?
Tawag talaga sa CRA.
Nakakuha ka ba isa ng credit?
Nakakuha po ako, bali,
there you go.
medyo OTB at saka GSTN.
There you go. Okay. Yun so, lang ang gagawin mo.
Mga, malaki rin po, mga 500.
O, tingnan mo.
So, ayun. So,
good.
Thank you po, thank you.
Thank you. Tawag ako bukas. Agad-agad.
May isa pa nagtanong, I think, kanina, di ba?
Yeah.
Thank you. And Miss Amanda, do you have a question?
Hello po. Magandang
Hello.
gabi.
Magandang
Tanong
gabi.
ko lang. Ayan. Kasi nga, yun na, buti na attend po ako ngayon. Doon kasi mga naririnig ko sa mga kapwa ko caregiver, meron po silang natatanggap na GST and premium. So, paano po ba maka-avail doon?
Never kang nakatanggap. Never ka
Wala
nakatanggap?
pa po. Since
kailan ka dumating dito sa Canada?
Wala pa po, ma'am.
Ha?
2019 December po. Naka-isang 2019 po, December.
The same dun sa sagot ko kay Russell. Dami pa ng application yung tanong ni Russell, no? Okay, so mag-fill out ka ng form. Malamang hindi ka pa nakapag-fill out ng form RC 151 and RC 66 para makapag-avail ka. Kasi pag newcomer, hindi siya automatic. Ngayon, pag nakapag-file ka ng RC 151, every year, automatic na yun, bibigyan ka basta magpa-file ka ng tax at entitled ka sa GST, HST credit, bibigay sa iyo ng CRA. So one time lang yung application ng RC 151 at RC 66.
So paano po saan po makakakuha po ng form na yan, ma'am?
Online. One thing, send ko kay sa POLO, and another one, pumunta ka sa CRA website, i-search mo lang yung form na to, RC 151 and RC 66.
Okay po, thank you po. Doon po kasi another po sa tanong ko, yung sa T4. T4 ko kasi nga, inano na po ng amo ko doon sa accountant nila. Eh, ngayon sabi niya, let's see kung may makukuha daw ako na return income tax.
Grabe naman.
Kaya naano naman ako, sabi ko, bakit gano'n yung ano niya, sinabi kung let's see kung may makukuha daw po ako. So,
Siguro makukuha kang what?
na
Refund?
yes po.
Okay. So ang ino-offer sa'yo, ipapagawa niya sa accountant niya yung
Opo.
tax mo.
Yes
Okay.
po. So, dito po kasi ang daming mga yung deduction, yung mga income tax deduction na ang laki po.
Dapat talaga deduction ka niya ng income tax, CPP
Opo.
at saka EI.
Yun lang po
Okay.
ba?
Depende kung ano pa yung napag-usapan nyo.
Kasi hindi ko alam po kung ano yung mga total deduction reported ng 16 plus 27. So, i-a-add ko po lahat yun.
Ano yung sinabi mo?
Yan dito kasi sa box na, di ba, yung 16 CPP, tapos yung ano po, yung box 27, yung employer's CPP. Ano ba yun? Employers employees sa EI premium.
Okay.
So, meron din po yun. Tapos, yung sa income tax nga po.
So
Saka
after this session, alam mo na yung mga yon, di ba?
Opo, kaya napatanong din ako sa mga ano. Kasi nga ngayon ko lang sinend niya po kasi sa email ko yung sa T4.
Okay.
Kaya nakikinig po ako sa mga kapwa ko po na sabi ko, kasi ako walang box 30.
Okay.
So, hinahanap ko sa akin, wala. Ay, sabi ko,
Okay.
ano ba yun? So, wala naman po. So, dito kasi, malaki dito sa box, 80.
80.
Yeah. Bali, lahat po ba yun na total deduction reported? So, i-add po pala yun sa 20, yung 16, lahat po pala yun. Ganun po ba yun?
Ang tanong mo, kung i-add mo yung mga deductions?
Yes po. Kasi malaki po dito sa box 80 ko po eh. Nakalagay kasi total deduction reported is malaki, bali 5.7 po.
Malaki yung deduction.
Yes po.
So ang tanong mo is?
Is kung paano po computein kung magkano yung makukuha mo na return income tax.
Refund.
Yes po. Yung magiging refund po sa
yung refund.
Ko pong i-compute kung halimbawa dumating na po yung magiging refund ko po kung meron po ba or wala.
Okay, depende sa situation mo yun eh. Kung may refund ka. So yung box 22, yun yung dineduct ni employer sa'yo na tax. Ngayon, pag halimbawa gumawa ka ng tax dun sa kung halimbawa tinry mo dun sa software, ginamit mo yung software, mas malaki yung tax due mo kesa dun sa, mas malaki yung na-compute mo na tax due kesa dun sa dineduct na employer. That means may babayaran kang tax. Pagka yung calculate mo, mas maliit yung tax due kesa dun sa 22, dun sa box 22, that means may refund ka. Another way, pala, ito, meron sa CRA website na calculator para makalculate yung mga deductions. Ngayon, kung gusto niyo yung sa tax calculation, maggawa kayo ng sa CRA, mag-create kayo ng account, CRA, my CRA. And then, sa ngayon, yun ang pinakamadali. Pagka gusto nyo gamitin yung software na nandun sa CRA website, ibibigay nyo lang merong dun may code na ibibigay ang CRA. Ipasok nyo lang dun sa software, ika-calculate dun software agad. Ganun kabilis. Hindi na kayo nag-isip. Lahat nung nandun sa my account nyo, papasok dun sa software hanggang sa ipapakita niya, ito yung ito yung refund mo o kaya ito yung tax due mo. Ang hindi lang maisasama doon, kung meron kang donation, kung meron kang RRSP, yung mga yon, na ikikiin mo na on your own dun sa software. This is also applicable kung sino yung gustong mag-try na gumamit ng software. So yun sa software, pagka meron kayong CRA account, magbibigay si CRA, ang bilis nga bibigyan kayo ng CRA ng code, i-key in nyo dun sa software, papasok lahat ng information, yung T4 slip nyo, yung notice of assessment nyo, makukuha ng software. So, ano yung hindi kasama doon? Yung donation nyo, yung medical expenses nyo, yung iba pang credits, yun ang hindi masasama. Pero pwede nyong i-manual key doon sa software. So, kung lumabas na meron kayong tax due, huwag kayo magpapanik, ipasok nyo yung donation, ipasok nyo yung mga tax credit. So, in the end, baka makita nyo, may refund kayo this much. And this is good for everyone. Nagets mo ba?
Opo, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you po.
Okay, thank you. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, so we only have maybe one question left. Miss Janice, you had your hand up.
Hello po.
Hello.
Hi. Ma'am, may itanong lang po ako kasi last time, yung sa box number 57, 58, 59, and 60, wala po ako. So, bali, chinay ko ngayon, yung binigay sa akin na T4, mayroon po ako ngayong naka-encode doon sa 57, 58, 59, and 60, which is hindi ko alam kung ano po to.
Ibaliktad mo yung T4 mo.
Actually, ma'am, wala siya. Hindi siya nakalagay yung mga definitions. Pero tiningnan ko before doon sa last year. Hindi ko po nakita yung mga number na to last year. Yung doon sa last po na
57, 58, 59?
Oh, 57, 58, 59, and 60.
And 60. Sige, i-check ko kung ano.
Ma'am May?
Alam kasi kung ano yan.
Miss May?
Yes?
Yeah. About sa question niya.
Nakakat.
Kaya meron 57, 58, 59, 60. Yun yung serve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kasi
yan,
meron din po ako na.
Sige.
So, bali deduction yun sa serve?
Hindi. Yun yung kailangan i-report ng mga employer.
Yes. Thank you.
Kailangan i-report ng mga employer po. Kasi meron din ako. Tapos sinearch ko kasi. Kailangan i-report na employer.
Si Marian.
So, ibig sabihin ito yung benefits ko ba to? Ano ba?
During that time, pinasasweldo ka.
Nung last year, nag-avail ka ng CRB.
Yeah.
Okay. Yan. Yeah. Kasi taxable yun. Taxable benefit yun. Kaya nandun sa T4 slip.
Oh. But
Pero hindi dapat T4 slip, T4A.
T4A. Pero alam ko, sa employer side yan, ma'am eh, na nireport nila, kailangan i-report nila na pinasweldo during that time ang employee nila.
Okay.
Oo.
So,
Kung nag-file
yung-
naman
yung
siya ng
ma'am-
serve, dapat may marireceive siya na iba pang...
Kasi actually hindi ko siya alam na inano nila ako kasi sabi sa akin, babayaran ako. So hindi ko alam na in-apply nila ako. Wala kaming usapan na gano'n. So
hindi naman hindi nila tayo in-apply. Kumbaga, pinasweldo
Silang
nila tayo
nag-claim.
during that time. Oo,
Oo.
siguro sila yung nag-ano. Oo. Kasi kailangan nilang i-report na nagpapasweldo sila nung time na yon.
Thank you.
All right, thank you po.
Okay, thank you everyone for all of the questions. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for Q&A. If you still have remaining questions that weren't addressed, you can send Miss May an email, or you can send POLO Toronto an email, and then we will just forward it to Miss May. I will type out our email in the chat. So it is polotoronto.2019@gmail.com, and then we'll be happy to send it to Miss May. But thank you everyone for participating and also asking your questions, and thank you Miss May and Miss Lizelle for answering the questions and giving us valuable advice. So as we wrap up at this time, I just want to remind all of our participants that in order to receive your certificates for today's webinar, kindly send us an email to polotoronto.trainings@gmail.com. I will also type that in the chat. With your complete name and address, and also please indicate the name of the training that you've attended. And also I would like to share that we will be hosting other webinars later this month, such as like CELPIP, Listening Pro class, and also I think that's on March 18th, and we also have a virtual tax clinic on March 20th. So more information about all of these future webinars and activities can be found on our website, which is polotoronto.dole.gov.ph, or of course our Facebook page as well, Facebook/Polo Toronto. And we will also be sending through emails these announcements as well. So with that being said, this brings us to the end of our webinar. And on behalf of Labat Rachel Zazurbado Nagayo, Well-Off Maria Lourdes Reyes, and the rest of the POLO team, I would like to thank our resource speaker, Miss May Lumiqued, for sharing
You're
her
welcome.
time and expertise today for our payroll deduction and tax prep. Also, I would like to thank Ms. Lizelle for joining us today. She's a settlement counselor from the Catholic Community Services of the York Region. And I would like to thank all the participants who are with us tonight. We hope to see you at our next webinar. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So,
Good night.
Thank you so much.
bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
The emails are here, so you can send it to toronto@ova.gov.ph or polotoronto.trainings@gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
POLOTorontotrain@gmail.com.
Yung nagre-race.
Nagpakita siya. Bye.